other individual who hadn't gotten back to Kelly as of yesterday. And sometime in our lifetime, I hope we will have a new machine that will handle both checks and credit cards. Apologize for the inconvenience. Some people have walked in wanting to pay, and, well, obviously, we can still take checks and cash, but we just haven't been able to do the credit.
Yeah, and I just want to emphasize for the public out on YouTube that you can pay by credit card through ePay.
On the website.
On the website, you can click on the link and go to ePay, but you do need to also have your utility account number to pay through that way, just so you know.
Right. Now I want to take one of Georgianne's phrases, and I want to put on a separate tab for just a second. And every registered voter should receive a copy of the proposed constitutional amendment to the Illinois State Constitution. I want to suggest that encourage people to read it closely. My understanding of it was changed. I thought it said one thing until I read it, and then it said something else. I'm not going to encourage you how to vote on it, but please read the information or read the sample ballot that is available, because it has not, at least in my mind, been presented real clearly until I received this mailer. Thank you. Well, you want to vote on it, but how do you vote on it? Okay, but I'm not selling that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next is Public Works, Trustee Walkington.
Right, about 10 days ago, when Peter Baker started the project of resurfacing the hill, I got a chance to walk with Greg Bruin and the Baker engineer, and they went through the process of showing how they were going to rebuild the road, what it did. And actually, the way they ground it is one of the reasons that we saved on some of the extra asphalt that we didn't use. So it was very interesting.
Okay, good.
That's
You
all
keep
I-
an eye on them, Gary.
The evil eye.
Okay, Public Safety, Trustee Priest.
Hello, everyone. Last month, we did not have a public safety meeting because we didn't have enough for a quorum. So, but interesting enough, it was Mike Benjamin and I got together right after the meeting last time, and he was talking about updating our website with some more information, basically combining with the EMA and the public safety page, and getting some links that we can just click onto. So him and I discussed this in the meeting last week, though, at the EMA meeting we had, and we're going to see and get with Kathy to get our links together and basically put it on our webpage so that you go to it, you might, one of the links is that you might be Disease Control Center. We're also looking at FEMA, IEMA, and all those other sites. So it's direct. We'll click and go.
Excellent.
Also, we're still have the safety tip of the month coming on. We're going on the website. This month's safety tip is on fire prevention. The link that I put on there was really, I thought had a lot of information. So I put everything on. I didn't just go and say, let's go to the National Prevention, Fire Prevention Association. It's a link that goes right to about 15 different resources on different fire safety situations, cars, whatever, generators, and everything else. So I put the whole link on there. It's a little bit long, but you know what? Once you put it on,
hey.
go there, it's really nice.
No, it is.
So that's about it. That's where I'm at.
Right. Excellent. Okay, next up is Wetlands and Open Spaces, Trustee Duberstein.
Well, it's getting to be fall, and so there will be those type of activities. Native Restoration Services will be doing some controlled burns. There will be notices to come to the village before that happens. And that will be around some of the ponds and prairies. And what that does is it gets the ground ready for the spring. It kills some of the weeds that have developed over the year and allows the native flowers to have a better chance of germinating next spring. We'll be doing some other cleanup through the winter. Speaking of cleanup, the village cleanup is this Saturday. We would like to have as many people as possible come out. You can get your own crew together and do a cleanup around your neighborhood, or join us over at the Public Works Building and get your trash bags to work along Hainesville Road. If you're interested in helping out at Cranberry Lake, you can meet at Tall Oak and Hainesville Road at 9 o'clock. It's from 9 to 12. And we would love to have as many people as possible attend. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and I'm an election judge, and I'd love to see everybody out. It couldn't get more convenient than having it here in the village hall. So please come and vote.
Community relations, trustee Darrenowski.
Well, last meeting I talked about the holiday mixer and plans are just moving forward with that. I got in touch with our very wonderful community volunteer who will be putting together our gift bags for us again this year. And just gonna drop off the catalogs as we receive them to her and so that she can put together the gift bags this year, just like she did last year. She did a phenomenal job last year. So we're very appreciative of Jackie Brunke and everything that she does with us.
We announced the date.
Yes, it was December 1st. December 1st.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I was like,
Yeah. December
No,
1st,
December 1st
Saturday.
from-
It's a Saturday.
2 to 5:30.
yeah.
So we got that. Holiday mixer, Saturday, December 1st, 2 to 5:30. And it'll be in the outgoing newsletter as well.
How about shopping with copier? We got any contact with Chief McLean yet?
No, I have no update on Chef with that.
Okay. No thing, no.
Okay.
And that's actually all I have for new relations.
Okay, all right, very good. We will move on to business, and the first item up, actually, Georgianne touched on, because this stems from her committee, the community cleanup. I was talking to Jeff a little bit about this morning, because Public Works helps prep some of this for the cleanup. So Jeff has the bags, we have gloves, we're gonna have two kinds of gloves. Typically, we use the plastic gloves for most of the people to pick up the garbage and easier stuff. We're gonna have some tougher gloves if there's some big hard workers that wanna tackle some rougher brush, so they're not, scraping or scratching their hands. And then we also purchased some additional safety vests, so if there's anybody that's going to be working on the roads, near Hainesville Road or Washington, that they're visible and they're safe. And then we're going to have two meeting places. Actually, we're going to stage, Jeff, you and I decided, in front of the village hall here, where the benches are. So anybody coming that wants to work in an area, if you haven't already touched base with the village hall, you can report here, unless you want to work on Cranberry Lake. And Cranberry Lake's a big area, so I know you have some people signed up. But Cranberry Lake, so Tall Oak and Hainesville Road is where you want to meet. You'll see people there. They're going to have their supplies ahead of time staged there. We'll also, of course, have water bottles on hand, so everybody stays hydrated. And Public Works will be driving around and picking up the bags and so on. So we hope that people contact us ahead of time. We've been shooting out emails and phone messages to people that we know in the past like to work on this stuff, encouraging them to get a crew together. And we'll also have a CTY call going out in the next 24 to 48 hours to also rally up the community. So we hope to see you there. The weather's supposed to be nice Saturday, so it stays that way. Any questions, thoughts? I know all you trustees are talking to all your neighbors and getting your own crew together for your area. Okay, item 2 is an ordinance prohibiting video gaming within the corporate limits of the village of Hainesville. We have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Jaranowski.
Aye.
Kreese.
Aye.
Ruberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
No.
And Hawkinton.
Aye.
Motion carried. Ordinance number 12-10-165.
Okay, the last item under business is the Halloween hayride schedule. Every year we provided hayrides in the community. We typically have had 3 stops, and it's been discussed the last couple of years in adding a 4th. It's been brought to our attention a couple times now that the back half of Deer Point doesn't have a hayride that's in close proximity. They do have to walk a considerable amount, particularly if they have little ones in tow that don't go very far with trick-or-treating. So I know it was prohibitive in years past when we had the different equipment because the machine was awkward and
Yes.
yeah, but the good news is we don't really have that issue. So I was talking to Jeff about a good route, and so Jeff, you want to explain what you're thinking and just throwing it out
Yeah,
there?
probably, typically, what we've done in the past at Granbury Lake, we start behind the village hall. You know, you want to get to a place where you can just do a nice big circle, and obviously you want to end up at the same spot. So, and we would divvy up the hours differently, so you'd spend, you know, it'd be 1 hour, you know, this location, 1 hour the second, you know, the third, and so on. It's been very successful on the 3 stops that we've had, you know, around Centennial, Brittany Park. You kind of do a loop through Misty Hill, and then we were doing Antler Park, which is
the front of Deer Point.
Which is the front of Deer Point. And unfortunately, the logistics never worked out to get that 4th area in there because there just wasn't enough time to do it. So
We're looking at adding another
yeah,
driver.
we're looking to add another driver with another piece of equipment, another trailer, where we would have the route go on East Bighorn and like where White Lane is. There's a giant bus stop at the corner by your house. And we would be able to easily loop around White Lane up to Aspen to Emerson and just do a big circle, which would certainly work, and you know, traffic-wise, it's a safe place to have it. I'm just trying to get the logistics worked out with the extra equipment, which should not be a problem. So, looking at...
We have a few people that we're contacting, so we're sure that we have a driver volunteer if they can't supply their own driver, so.
Right, yeah, we have a driver, we're just looking for the additional equipment, which won't be an additional.
So we again will be putting the finalized information in the newsletter, because we're striving to get this all worked out before the newsletter gets mailed.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, of course, it will also be available on the website. So it'll let you know the exact hours and stops, and then we do put signage at the stops, so that lets you know this is where. And are we going to do the canned goods again for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Historically, what we've done when we do the hayride, you don't have to bring canned goods to get on. We'll still let you on, but we do try to collect food and or even cash donations. If you don't have time or don't want to tote canned goods, you see the sign at Avon Township Food Pantry. At $1, the food pantry buys 8 pounds of food for the food pantry. So we'll have a money jar, plus we'll take in canned goods. All right, do we have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned at 7:46.